On one side, there is dopamine stimulation. On the other, there is boredom. On one side, the pleasure of a 15-second reel. On the other, 4 hours of deep study in silence. Your brain has turned into a crossroads, and the sad part is, it has forgotten how to choose the right road. You think you're lazy. You think you lack motivation. Wrong. You are not lazy. You are the victim of a massive deception. And today, we expose that deception. Today, you'll learn how to hack your own brain and turn hard work into an addiction. Hello, friends. My name is Vaibhav, and welcome to Booktuber English. First, accept a bitter truth. Right now, at this very moment, your brain is running a calculation, like a businessman. How much effort will this take, and how much pleasure will I get in return? Here's the problem. Your brain runs on software that is millions of years old. In primitive times, if effort was high and reward uncertain, the brain said, stop, save energy. But if effort was low and reward visible, like fruit hanging from a tree, the brain said, attack. In the 21st century, this same software is working against you. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a Stanford neuroscientist, calls this dopamine reward prediction error. Understand this carefully, because this is why you open a book and end up grabbing your phone. When you scroll reels, eat junk food, or play video games, you get an instant dopamine hit with zero effort. This is cheap dopamine, like a drug dealer who gives you the first dose for free so you become dependent. On the other side are things like studying, business, the gym. The effort is now. The reward may come 6 months later. A brain addicted to cheap pleasure rejects this deal. It screams, I want pleasure now. The result? Boredom. You think boredom means the work is useless. Wrong. Newport in Deep Work explains this clearly. Boredom is not a defect. Boredom is the entry fee to greatness, but you've stopped paying that fee. You've trained your brain to be so cheap that it refuses expensive deals like career, dreams, and success. Dr. Anna Lembke, author of Dopamine Nation, says something terrifying. We live in a world not sick from pain, but sick from pleasure. Dopamine is not the happiness chemical. That's the biggest lie you were told. Dopamine is the I want more chemical. Think about scrolling Instagram. Are you peaceful, calm, fulfilled? No, you're like a zombie searching for the next hit. Never satisfied, only more hungry. Notifications, sugar, porn, social media, they're frying your dopamine receptors. When dopamine floods the brain too easily, the brain protects itself by shutting receptors down. This is called tolerance. And here's the result. Listen carefully, because this is your story. Normal life starts feeling dull. Reading a book, boring. Talking to friends, slow. Watching clouds, pointless. Solving hard problems, punishment. You are not depressed. You are in a dopamine deficit state. Your baseline is so damaged that you now need extreme stimulation just to feel normal. And this is where average people collapse and legends are born. Let's step away from science for a moment. If you don't break this addiction today, what happens next? I don't want to scare you, but I won't protect you from the truth. If your brain keeps running from effort, you'll burn the most valuable years of your life, ages 20 to 30, scrolling and chasing cheap pleasure. Cheap dopamine is a loan whose interest is paid with your future happiness. The pleasure you steal today will return tomorrow as deep regret. Are you ready to live with that regret? If not, it's time to declare war against your own brain. Now comes action. Not the fake dopamine detox you've seen on YouTube. We're not becoming monks, we're rewiring biology. This is a 3-phase protocol. Write it down. Stick it on your wall. Step 1. The 48-hour blackout. Change must start with shock. Cigarettes don't disappear gradually. Identify your top 5 dopamine sources: Instagram, Netflix, junk food, gaming. For the next 48 hours, zero access. You'll feel restless. Your hands will itch. Your mind will panic. Welcome that pain. It's proof your dopamine receptors are healing. This is not weakness. This is recovery. James Clear says in Atomic Habits, environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. Don't rely on willpower. It will betray you. Change the environment. Lock the phone in another room. Delete apps. Disconnect the internet. Make failure difficult. Step 2. Embrace boredom. When cheap dopamine disappears, a vacuum appears. Emptiness. And inside that emptiness, not demons, but divinity lives. This is where great ideas are born. Blaise Pascal said, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. When boredom comes, don't escape. Stare at a wall. Watch the ceiling. Let thoughts rise. When the brain can't find dopamine outside, it's forced to look inside. That's the magic moment when studying becomes interesting, simply because there's nothing else to do. Step 3. The morning low dopamine rule. After 48 hours, make it a lifestyle. Rule is simple. First 4 hours after waking, no cheap dopamine. If you touch your phone in the morning, you program your brain for distraction all day. Morning hours are for study, exercise, writing, meditation. Win the morning, and the day wins itself. Now the real question, how do you make study addictive? Yes, it's possible. The secret is flow state and controlled stress. Technique 1. The Goldilocks rule. Boredom comes when work is too easy or too hard. Find the sweet spot, a task just 4% harder than your ability. Challenging, not terrifying. When you solve a hard problem and get it right, the dopamine released is thousands of times more satisfying than reels. This is earned dopamine. Get addicted to earning it. Technique 2. Controlled stress. We fear stress. Navy SEALs embrace it. When you want to quit, that's when real work begins. David Goggins calls it the 40% rule. When your mind says, I'm done, you've used only 40% of your capacity. Tell yourself, this pain isn't stopping me, it's building me. Stress releases norepinephrine, essential for focus. Survive the first 10 minutes of discomfort, and flow appears. Most people quit in those 10 minutes. Whoever stays, wins. Technique 3. Cognitive load and sacred space. Turn your study space into a temple. Japanese craftsmen, shokunin, treat their workspace with reverence. On your table, one book, one pen, one notebook. Nothing else. If your phone is even in sight, part of your brain is tracking it. Design solitude, romanticize silence, late-night lamp, library stillness. Fall in love with quiet. Final truth, the most powerful one. Habits don't change until identity changes. Stop saying, I'm a student trying to study. Say, I'm a scholar, I'm a warrior, my duty is hard things. Naval Ravikant said, desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. But a warrior doesn't work for desire. He works for duty. Your right is action, not results. This is not spirituality. This is peak performance psychology. Focus on results, fear appears. Focus on process, courage appears. This is nishkam karma. This is flow. This is freedom. Your 7-day roadmap. Day 1 to 2. No social media, no sugar, no games, only essentials. Day 3-4. Morning sunlight. 4 hours, no phone. Hardest subject first. Day 5 to 6. When distracted, write, my brain wants dopamine, but I am the owner. Return to work. Day 7. Review your focus. You'll notice joy returning. In tea, wind, solve problems. Viktor Frankl said, "He who has a why to live can endure any how." What is your why? Not marks, not money. Do this because you refuse to disappoint yourself, because average is worse than death. Quit dopamine slavery. Choose effort addiction, because the day you fall in love with effort, you won't need motivation. You'll become it. Wake up, detox, unlock your greatness. Thank you.